So you can unlock this layer so you have this piece for the Tri-C logo. I'm just going to put a ruler guide in the approximate midpoint of this, stretching it from the ruler. Okay. Take the selection tool, select the logo. You can see it's got highlighted here. When you click on the rotation, I'm going to hold the Option key and click right in the intersection of that. And there's 8 of these around, so 360 divided by 8. And when I hit preview, you'll see it's cutting it across there, 45, so it's showing identical. But I just want it at the midpoint, so I'm going to divide this by 2. And now I have this artwork kind of placed in there. So I'm going to leave it there, go back to locking this layer, and I have this layer above it to work on. And just zoom in. And I can use the keystrokes when I start grabbing some of the tools, the ellipse for L. I'm going to reset this to the beginning so it's a hollow interior. But just Option and click this circular part. And that gives me that piece. This section I'm just going to use the pen tool, so just start approximately up here. Come down to this section and come to the midpoint and put a curve there. Hold the Shift key down so the handles come out on either side. Okay. Go to the stroke panel. Increase the thickness of this stroke, and you can almost have it identical to it. And then take the reflection tool. I'm going to make sure I have that tool. I'm going to hold the Command key to click just to make sure I have that section. I still have the reflect tool. This time I'm just going to go to the we can do it 2 ways. You can make it a shape, but I'm just going to use it as a path. So I'm just going to Option and click, and it puts a path on the other side to copy it. So now I have these 2 paths right here. And I can take the direct selection tool, see if it'll allow me to grab these 2, and Option path, and join that together. Okay, so now I've just joined the path with these two points here. Okay, so to make this more of a shape, I just have to change it into that, but I'm going to duplicate just a copy of it right over to here. So now I have this object path outline the stroke, so now it becomes a shape in itself. Take the rotation tool and Option and click right inside this piece, but first I'm going to select both of these items. Okay, and now when I have the rotation tool, it'll rotate itself over there. So Option and click and rotate it. See what happens with 45. Just hit copy and Command D for duplicating this all the way around, and then just move it down a little bit. So now I have this logo. I can highlight it, and when you highlight it, it has a question mark for the color and the shape, but when I just click the information there, it'll give me that piece. So I can keep it as a white shape, but I hit the eyedropper tool and just click it for blue. It has no selection. Group it together, and now I have this particular part of the logo there. This was just in case I need it. I'm going to set it off the pasteboard. Lock that layer, unlock this logo, and I can reset it back to where it was just with the rotation tool. So that's essentially what you're doing. You're trying to get Cuyahoga Community College in there. The text, we'll place it in there pretty quickly there for you. Just hit. And this way I can just Shift key this up. And just to go over a little bit of the type section there, I'm just going to go to Window, Type, and get to Character, so I have that palette just to go over. Just remember the Show Options panel will be here. And it shows the font, so you can click on it to get the font that's a little closer to that section. I'll just put one in there just to start it. Regular, probably be a bolder font. But you can see that it's centered, so under paragraph there's centered, align right, align left. Go back to character. The space that's in between the text is the leading. So plus or minus that space. It's going to do that. And the space between the text itself is listed right here when you leave it over as the tracking. It's also referred to as kerning, and you can highlight that selection as well. And so you can hide that piece. So for most purposes, I might change the font just to give it a bolder look to it. But now you have these two parts. Okay. You can shift key these two together. Use the align tool, lines them up so that they're straight. Object and group them together. And now you have this particular logo for yourself.